Today I am excited to share how I created this giant daisy flower using crepe paper. I'm going to share all the tools I used along with some of the tips and tricks that I used to create this flower. If you're new here, I'm Kim. Welcome to Sweet Red Poppy. I share tons of crafting videos on my channel, so don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get started on making this beautiful giant daisy flower. Here are the supplies that you'll need. For this project, you will need light and heavyweight crepe paper, 18 gauge white floral stem wire that's 16 inches, a fine point hot glue gun, hot glue sticks, craft scissors, wire cutters or pliers, clover clips, a finger guard, a 3/4 inch PVC pipe coupler or a wooden dowel, a 2.8 inch foam ball, a craft knife, floral spray or pan pastels, and the large daisy flower PDF template. I'm going to share a link to this PDF pattern in the description below this video. That way you can download it and print it. Once you have it, go ahead and print out all 5 of the pages. Once the printing is finished, you can collect the numbered pages and go ahead and check that the test square on that first page measures 1 inch. If the test square doesn't measure 1 inch, reprint it using the actual size option in the print settings, or you can adjust the scaling until the square measures 1 inch. If it is 1 inch, we can go ahead and start taping the template together in order from 1 through 4. You want to make sure to line up the stars as you go. This template includes a large petal piece, a small petal piece, sepals, and then center pieces that are layered. They're numbered 1 through 5. Now it's time to cut out all of the giant daisy flower pieces from our template. Now it's time to cut out all of the giant daisy flower pieces from our large petal. For the petals on this flower, I'm using a heavyweight 180 gram high quality crepe paper. I'm going to link to my very favorite sources in the description of this video. I'm also going to link to a blog post that I wrote that covers everything you could possibly need to know about crepe paper. That way you can learn it. The large petals for one giant daisy is going to take an entire roll of crepe paper that's 19.5 inches by 98.5 inches. Now it's really important that you're using the correct material for this, because if you don't, the petals aren't going to have enough stiffness to hold their own shape, and then it won't look very good. To cut these out, I like to fold my crepe paper a few times, place my template on top, clip it at the bottom, and then cut around it. The grain line marking on our pattern piece should run perpendicular to the lines that run along the length of the crepe paper. This is going to provide your petal pieces with the greatest amount of stretch across the petal from side to side, and this allows you to easily shape your petal. Now you can do this by hand or with a pair of scissors. If you want to speed up the process, you could use a rotary cutter and a cutting mat to cut all of these out. Once the large petals have been cut out, twist them back and forth using your hands just to wrinkle them. This is going to help the material so it doesn't look too perfect, and it adds some nice texture. Something to keep in mind is that every flower is a little bit different, so you might find that you need more or less than what I show you in this tutorial, just based on how you assemble your flower. So don't be afraid to cut out a few extra petals, especially if you're new to crepe paper, as sometimes it takes a little bit of getting used to. Next up, we need to cut out our center pieces. For this part of the flower, you can use a lower quality crepe paper, and you can save some money by doing that. For the disc florets, or the center of the daisy, I provided the measurements that I used on the template. It tells you the length of the strip and how many you're going to need. For example, for layer 5, you're going to cut a 28 inch by 2.5 inch strip of crepe paper. The measurements I'm using are just a reference that I use to create my centers. Yours might be a little bit different depending on how big or how small you want your flower's center to be. Keep this in mind. If you increase the size of the disc floret, you will need to cut more petals. Once you've cut all of your strips, take one of your layers along with its matching template, and we're going to fold up the crepe paper so that it's the same length as the template. Clip the template into place and then cut the pieces following the cut lines on your template. On layer number 1, you may have noticed that there's a fold line running through our template. This means to fold the strip in half, then take your scissors and make little snips down the center. Finally, let's cut out the sepal pieces out of our green crepe paper using the provided template. Again, I'm going to fold up my crepe paper so I can cut multiple pieces at a time. After cutting out all of your pieces, the next step is to prepare everything that we've cut. Now this next step is optional, but it really brings your flowers to life. You can use a floral spray or even some pan pastels, and this is going to add some color to your petals, your sepals, even your disc floret pieces. For my petals, I like to select a color that's just a few shades darker and then apply it to the base of the petal. This is going to mimic how daisies look in real life, and it adds some much needed depth to this petal. If you're not sure what to do, a quick Google search of daisies can be really helpful for inspiration on how to naturally add some color to your pieces. To create the large petals, lay one piece out on the table in front of you with the right side facing upward. Let's refer back to the petal template to start folding these. Fold the petal backwards along the outermost fold line, and then bring that fold line in towards the center to match the other fold line. This is going to create a little pleat, and it gives our petal some volume. Once you've pleated it, go ahead and place a small dot of hot glue underneath both of the folds just to hold it in place. Then I like to use my clover clips and secure it in place. Now let's add some wire to the back of our petals. Lay the petal out in front of you with the right side facing downward. Place a wire on top of your flower petal, and you want it to be centered. I like for my wire to extend past the edge of my petal about 1 inch or 2. Take a hot glue gun and secure your wire at the very top with a small dot of hot glue, and also at the base. If you don't like using hot glue, you could also use E6000 for this step. Next, I'm going to run a small line of hot glue along the length of the wire. To do this, I gently push my wire to the left as I'm going down the length, and then with my glue gun, I pull it back into the hot glue. This makes sure that the hot glue gets exactly underneath the wire, and it really helps to secure everything in place. You can also use a silicone finger guard to do this, and just press that into the hot glue so it's really nice and secure. Repeat this process with all of your large petals and place them in a stack. Now we can begin shaping our petals. To do this, I like to bring the base of my petal about 1 inch over the edge of my table, and then I bend it. Then I shape the other side of the petal so it forms inward. You can get really creative with this part and shape your flower however you want. Remember that flowers at different stages are going to be shaped differently, so feel free to get creative with this. If you're making multiple flowers, I always recommend that you make each flower a little bit different. So make one at an earlier stage and one at a later stage. That would mean some of them are more closed, some of them are more open. Now let's move on to prepping the centers. Take layer 1, fold it in half, and glue the edges together. Then we're going to snip those little cuts along the length of the rectangle if you haven't already done this. For layers 2 and 3, I like to fringe them by twisting them in between my fingers. This separates the cuts and it gives it a little bit of shape. On layer 2, I also like to shape the ends inward just a little bit. For layer 5, you can create little pleats or folds, and that's just going to give this layer a little bit more volume. After preparing all of the flower pieces, it's time to roll all of our centers. I'm going to just warn you right now, this is a bit tedious and monotonous. I usually turn on a TV show and roll all of my centers. Start with layer 1, and you want to take the end of the strip and roll it around the smooth end of a paintbrush or around a piece of wire. I'm going to put a little dot of glue just to help secure it. It's helpful to use a fine tip hot glue gun for this, and then to add some glue as you're going. Once you've completed one strip, grab the next strip, add a dot of hot glue to one end and attach it, and continue rolling. Now let's add our second layer in. We're going to be using the same technique, so wrap the second layer around the first layer. Now this layer is slightly longer and it should curl up over the edge of layer 1. Take your third layer and wrap it around the second layer. I wrap some of the first few sections so that they bend inward, and then the next few so they're bending outward. Continue wrapping until you're done wrapping the 5th layer, and watch your center grow. This is what my finished center looks like. To attach my flower heads to their stems, I use a combination of a PVC pipe coupler on the back of my flower, and then I attach it to my PVC pipe stem to connect them. You could also use a wooden dowel instead of a PVC pipe coupler. I'm going to cover how to make stems and bases in another video. To create the base of this flower, take a styrofoam ball and cut it in half. Then hollow out a small opening on the round side for the PVC pipe coupler. That's going to sit inside of that hole, and it should be just slightly smaller than the coupler. I like to place the opening just slightly off center so that once the flower is attached to the PVC pipe, the face of the flower is looking down just a little bit instead of straight upward. Add hot glue to the inside of the hole, then firmly insert the coupler into the hole and seal it with hot glue around the edges. Then use plenty of hot glue to secure the foam ball to the center back of your daisy. After assembling the base, we can glue all of our flower pieces together. Start with the smaller petals and evenly space them around the entire center. They should be securely glued to the back of the center that we created and a little bit overlapping this piece of foam. You want to make sure that you don't have any negative spaces, and if you do, fill those little gaps in. You might find it helpful to mark the placement for the petals instead of just eyeballing it. So I have put 12 evenly spaced markings here. I'm going to start adding in my petals. Next, it's time to add in our large petals. Now you can layer each one on top of the next one, or you could add them randomly. I'm going to show you 2 different examples of ways that I added them. It's really up to you. I've pre-marked mine, so I have 14 evenly spaced little spots that I'm going to glue to. For these petals, you can either trim off this excess wire, or you can use it to stick it into this foam ball, and that gives you a little bit of extra strength on these petals. So I stick that straight in, and then I just add some hot glue underneath here. Once you've secured your first petal, you can move on to the next one. And then hold that petal firmly in place until it cools down a little bit. If you end up with any gaps, you can always cut an extra petal to fill it in. Now, once you're happy with the placement of all of the petals, you can add a little extra glue to really adhere them into place. You want to ensure that they are completely secure and they're not going to fall off. Now flip that daisy over so that it's facing downward and add the sepals to the back of the flower. Cut a small length of green crepe paper, and then we're going to use that just to cover up this coupler. So go ahead and attach that. Flip your daisy over, and from here you can start to shape it however you'd like. I'm going to pull my petals inward. And don't forget to remove any stray threads of hot glue. Once your flower has cooled completely, you can insert it into a PVC pipe stem. And there you go, you have a giant crepe paper daisy flower. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and have a lot of fun making this daisy flower. If you did, go ahead and give this video a like. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and find me over on Instagram at Sweet Red Poppy.